What's up guys? Hey, I thought I'd do a little video with Emily. She is my sister's girlfriend and I thought that we could sit here, do a little makeup and you guys can get to know her a little bit. Yeah.
So how did you get into makeup?
So I actually watched, a few years ago, I watched a tutorial that Troy Sivan did. Like it was literally one of the first tutorials he ever did. And I was like, well, if he's like so into wearing makeup, like why can't I wear makeup? And I had really bad acne at the time. Like, why have all this redness when I can just cover it up? And I remember I ordered stuff from the Body Shop online because I was too scared to go into store and get it.
Shame.
Because I didn't want anyone seeing.
How old are you? Quite young, right?
Well, when I bought the Body Shop stuff was when I first moved here, which was 2014. So I was 15, 16,
I was
something like
such a
that.
little baby.
But it was, I think that the Body Shop had just like launched. It's like some makeup at that time. It was interesting to say the least. I had no idea what I was doing and my blending skills were subpar back in those days.
All of our blending skills were bad.
Yeah.
I remember the classic was like, you had like foundation on your face but not on your neck. And so you just had that line, remember?
Yeah.
Oh god. I feel like 13 or 14, 15, whatever year olds now, just, it's not fair. They look so like perfect. They have all the skills that we just did not have. Back in my day, it was like flavored lip gloss and blue eyeshadow. Also like, because I grew up in Germany and you grew up in South Africa.
Yeah.
Probably the relationship with makeup is quite different. If you live in a hot country by the beach, I can imagine the vibe being a lot more like natural, don't cover up, focusing mostly on sunblock. Whereas in Germany, I lived in like a city and, you know, obviously makeup was a much bigger thing there when we were younger, I think.
I mean, wherever you go, like people are still like into what they're into, you know?
That's true.
I don't know, I just think that like, we just didn't like have access. Like even now, like when my friends come here and they see like brands like Too Faced or Tarte or brands that we stock in John Lewis and Debenhams, they're like, oh my god, and I'm like, really? And it's because they just don't have those brands there. Like,
So what are like the biggest brands for like skincare and makeup in South Africa?
so Environ, which is like it's a South African brand, is very big, and Dermalogica.
Oh, that's pretty big in Europe as well.
Yeah, so Dominique have actually quite a few shops around.
I always feel like here there's so much choice of like fancy, pretty, nice smelling stuff, and it's not even, I mean obviously there's so many great products, but
Yeah.
like maybe it's not the worst to have like less, but like, I don't know, what am I saying?
No, I understand what you mean. It's like, it's basically like you don't get confused on the products, you actually know like
Yeah.
what you're getting.
Because I find it really overwhelming. For someone like, I enjoy makeup, but everything I know about makeup I've learned from you.
Yeah.
I often just feel like it's exciting, like it's so fun to see all the products, but I get really overwhelmed because I can never tell like what is actually good. Because obviously they're all investing so much money in marketing and all of their ads are like, this is the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I know I need to learn about the ingredients, but personally I don't know them yet, so I don't know what to look out for. Well, I also find it really, like, it's tough because everyone's skin is different, right?
Yeah.
And I know I have super sensitive skin with like some sort of skin condition. Often I'll see like people who supposedly are like, I have super sensitive skin, I have all these issues and this works wonders. And then I try it out and it makes my skin worse. So like everyone's skin is so different too.
I have sensitive skin, but I wouldn't put my products on yours because I have like normal combination skin.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you like hydrating products, so
Yeah, dry skin.
you, like I wouldn't be like, oh, use the same face wash as me because it will dry you out like there's no tomorrow. Skincare is such a personal thing. It's like makeup as well. Like it's always such a personal thing. Like
I spoke to a friend of mine recently, but there's this skincare brand. It's one of the like most famous brands, and it's like really expensive. And she splashed out and bought like a bunch of things because she was like you know what, you only have one skin, I want to take care of my skin, blah, blah, blah. And within one day of using it, she got really bad reactions to it, broke out, it was like terrible. So she spent hundreds of euros on something that just did not work for her. I feel like we're like naturally talking about skincare.
Yeah. But Emily lived in Australia for a year. Tell me about Australia. What did you think of it? Would you go back? Like, what was your highlight? What was your low light?
Okay, that's a good one actually. I lived in Australia, was it 2 years ago now? It's actually been so long.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I would definitely go back. I had the time of my life. I think that from a personal standpoint, I moved there after graduating. I was on a working holiday visa, but unlike usually people on working holiday visas go, they sort of go more for like a gap year, kind of working in bars, but mostly like learning to surf. Like it's more of a relaxed thing, whereas I did actually go and like worked at a consultancy, and like I very much just had like a very normal life. So I had that jump from like uni to like adulting. But I found it was really a nice way to adapt to that because everyone's just a little bit more laid back in Australia, and it was such beautiful weather. The nature is just like insane. I think it was like not fully what I had expected in the sense that when I grew up, I like watched things like H2O, just add water and stuff like that. So in my mind, Australia was like, well, obviously it depends on where it's set. I moved to Sydney. So in my mind, like Australia was like going surfing and like scuba diving and living at the beach and Byron Bay vibes. But obviously if you live in Sydney and I was like working at a consultancy in like the like business district, I forget what it's called. That was like way more like city life than I was anticipating. Basically, Australia is beautiful. It was way more a mix of a city and like nature than I'd anticipated, which was great. I traveled a little bit, but I didn't travel across Australia as much as I would have wanted to, just because I did actually have a full-time job and I was like quite busy, and I was at the time straight out of uni, so I was obviously not earning that much, and traveling in Australia is expensive. But yeah, no, it's really cool. I would definitely go back, especially like I was there when gay marriage got legalized, so that was like really exciting. I've actually often been in the country when gay marriage was legalized. I was in the States when it was legalized, I was in Australia when it was legalized, I was in like wherever. I plan it so that I get to go to the gay parties.
So I'm going to be using the James Charles palette just because it is the only palette that I have on the moment. I am waiting more, but Morphe are being very slow, which is fine. I'm a patient person. We're going to start off with the shade at the top here, just as like in the crease, something to... I don't really know where I'm going with this look, but it's fine. We'll get there.
Love that. So, fun fact, Angus bought this palette, was it like 1 or 2 years ago? I mean, 2 years ago. Pride. And then the day before Pride, you came over here. So you obviously spent the weekend with us, and we were up till like God knows how long. We were up till like 3 a.m. I want to say, drinking, doing makeup to each other, and like chatting.
My sister literally like clocked out early. She was like,
yeah, she went to bed so early, and we just stayed up. It was so fun. But I bought like a drugstore palette, and sometimes drugstore stuff is really good. And then with this, I bought this palette, and it's so bad. Like the color doesn't really stick on my face. Like Essence, do you know Essence?
Yeah,
really
Essence is very like
hit or miss. Yeah. So I actually quite like Essence. Growing up in Germany, that was like one of the like big drugstore brands is Essence. I think Germany and South Africa have really similar brands actually.
Yeah, like I don't know why, but like here it's not a big thing.
Not at all. The Essence was like what we all had off. You know, I was saying we had like the blue eyeshadow back in the day. Yeah. That blue eyeshadow was probably from Essence. Because that was like the thing. But this palette that I bought, when they're like with the winged eyeliner, they're like, just follow here and then flick. And I'm like, that is not what it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So would you choose like a powder contour over a cream contour?
No, love to go out to but like I'm very like skeptical when it comes to online shopping, when it comes to buying a perfect foundation shade and something that I prefer to just go into store and get it, because for me, I think if you go and swatch every foundation I have, they're all in a different shade.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is a different shade. And I all got matched in store. So imagine if I'm trying to pick this out online.
Yeah, that's fine.
This was, no, I bought this with Rebecca. This was like, I thought I had made it when I bought this bronzer. Going into store for makeup, like I only want to go into store to get makeup, but the thing is, I think that like everyone's staring at me, and they're like, I know that they're not. Like I know that they literally.
Oh, that's
don't
what you
care.
meant about. Okay, I get you.
Yeah, I come from a country where like it's not really like, I haven't met many men that wear makeup.
Yeah, I feel like in London it's so like accepted.
Well, yeah, because
There's so much, yeah, like so much representation. But I can imagine that it would be a bit different in kitchen. I'm always like so skeptical about blush because I'm like, I've just taken the redness out. Don't put it back on.
So because you're red, we'll use a peach blush.
Oh no, I gave you that brush.
Yes,
Was that
you
in
did.
Germany?
What is like a big pet peeve that you're like, no, you just don't have to do that?
I mean, I feel like pet peeve is maybe a little bit aggressive. I feel like I really hate seeing someone with a red lipstick if they haven't like lined their lip and it's just like messy.
Yeah.
I just feel like red lipstick can go wrong so easily. Well, I guess for me, a pet peeve is just like caking on makeup.
Yeah.
Like when it, but it's maybe not a pet peeve, it's just not something I like on me.
Okay. But to come back to your question, my favorite YouTuber is probably Daisy Perkins. She is very I think she's like an OG. I've only really gotten into her in the last like 2 years or so. And just love her makeup, like her and her best friend Katie. Like I love the way that they do their makeup. It's very like nonchalant, like super chilled, like very nudie, very bronze, and like they're obviously like super tan. Yeah, let's just cast very like a nice little blush on. I like a very hands-on like approach to makeup. Like I watch a lot of like celebrity makeup artists, and they're very much like use your fingers, you know. I sometimes really hate being left-handed, like it really is a problem.
It tastes like vanilla?
Yeah, it's really good. Like I like that gloss. That's a good gloss.
So if you got married, right? Would you get a makeup artist to do your makeup, or would you do it yourself?
No, because when I get married, I've decided that it's not gonna be like a big. Well, obviously it's gonna be a big thing because, like, obviously it's me.
I was about to say.
But I won't like. I don't think I'll ever legally get married. Like, I'll have like a ceremony and everything.
Why? But for legal reasons, it's really. I mean, I guess everyone can do what they want.
I don't know. I was just thinking about it, and like, I think I just have like a chronic fear of marriage now. So I think that like, why? I mean, if it comes to it, if my partner's like, no, like I really would like us to get legally married, then sure. But I'd rather just stay non-married and have legal aspects in
Yeah, so
place.
you'd get like a civil partnership.
Yeah, so like in my will, like everything would go to my partner if he died first.
Yeah.
And it's very like obviously still legal. It's just like not in the eyes of the government. We wouldn't be married because honestly, like I think that you know, I don't need the government to give me permission to love someone for the rest of my life.
I get that. I'm definitely getting married though. I'm gonna have
Like,
a
if my
Tuscan
partner-
wedding.
If my partner said to me, like, if we discussed it in the outcome,
Yeah, so you're not like opposed to it, but you just don't really like, desire it.
Yeah, like it's not really like a big thing in my life. I don't know. This is actually a very recent development in my life.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised.
I literally was lying, I was falling asleep the other night, and I was like, do I want to get so heavily invested that the government tells me that I can do what I can and can't do?
I don't think the marriage should be about the government though. But I get it. Like
The
a
thing
lot of
is
people
though,
are
like I would still do like the commitment ceremony and very much like get into it. Like I would profess my dying heart and soul for my partner in front of everyone I love. But I just don't think that signing a document is like that necessary when it comes to the marriage process. But obviously I think that, you know, when it comes to this situation, I think we can both explore both avenues, and if getting married is like legally the smartest move when it comes to assets and stuff like that, then fair enough.
Well, even like if your partner was in hospital and like you're not family, like there's a risk that they don't like let you in to see your partner.
Yeah, that probably.
Although I guess it is getting better depending on where you live. Like,
I mean, you do remember that I have the mother that I do. I can do anything I want.
that's true. She would just yell at them.
Yeah, literally.
She'd be like, no!
Literally, she'd just be like, Salisbury, like, you guys aren't winning on this one.
Yeah.
And then punch them. I think that's
Do I
everything.
do the mascara first or this first?
No, let's do this first, because if it wets the mascara, then you can run.
It's waterproof.
It doesn't matter.
Ah, it's cold!
Let's review what we've done on her face. So I used a mixture of the Too Faced Hangover Primer and the E.L.F. Poreless Putty Primer on her T-zone. And then we went into foundation. I used the Milani 2-in-1 Perfect and Conceal foundation. And then to contour, I used this Zoeva Contour Spectrum palette, and I used only the cool tone shade in it. And then I bronzed with the Fenty Bronzer, and then the blush I used was from an E.L.F. palette. This one right here, the Total Face palette, this one. It's very dirty, I'm very sorry. The concealer I used was the Gimme Essential High Coverage Concealer, and I only took that underneath her eyes. And then, what else did I use? So, I just used the Hoola Light Bronzer through her crease first, and then I went in with the James Charles palette. And then for lips, I took my last video's lip combo. And for brows, I just used the Benefit Brow Combo, so the Precise in My Brow and the Gimme Brow. And then I used MAC Fix Plus to set your face.
Should I put mascara on?
You can put mascara on if you want
I need a
to.
mirror though. Do you have like a little... There's like the mascara face. So some people like open their mouth.
Oh, there you go.
Or they like... I used to have really weird faces, but then now I just kind of don't really move much.
That's interesting because everyone has a mascara face.
Well, yeah, I guess I have most.
Just a straight face.
And for me.
Alrighty guys, so that is the finished makeup look. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching and catch you next time.
Bye!